Hello and welcome to Nan Loves Food. I am Ann here today with a confession. I'm having a heck of a time with weekday lunches. So I could blame it on a lot of things. There are a lot of things happening in the world right now, but at the end of the day, my dependence on cheese and carbohydrates for lunch is out of control. So sure, I could eat a quesadilla for lunch every single day. And quite frankly, we're getting close to that. And I don't want to be there. So I figured I'd take you along with me while I am trying to figure out some good lunch ideas to kind of get me off of the quesadilla train, because, you know, every once in a while, awesome. Every single day, not so awesome. So I recently released a Trader Joe's haul where I went through some of the stuff that I'm going to try, but a lot of this stuff I haven't actually tried before. So I don't think I always hate it when people do hauls but with new stuff, but then they don't tell me if the new stuff is good. So hopefully this video kind of fixes some of that for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is actually in my refrigerator. I grabbed these, the Trader Joe's watermelon juice. So I had one of these last night. Everybody said they are so good. I see them in so many hauls. People love this stuff. Gotta be honest, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. There is a disproportionate amount of citric acid in here, so it is very tart. It kind of gets you on the sides of the tongue, like, whew. It's just a little too sour to be enjoyable for me. So I didn't care for it. Gave it to Matthew to try. He also didn't care for it. So these will be going on to my sister, who might like it and might not, but her kids might, so we'll see. Just for your awareness, this does have 60 calories. Which isn't terrible. I drink a lot of seltzer, so obviously it's a lot worse than seltzer because seltzer has nothing. But it does look like there aren't any added sugars in here, so it's just the watermelon juice giving it its sweetness. But not a fan. Not to say I won't try the other ones. There are several other types that are not watermelon. I just thought I would like watermelon, and I don't. So there's that. So for lunch today, we are having the Trader Joe's antipasta salad. This I picked up yesterday when I was at Trader Joe's, and it looks delicious to me. So it has spring mix with uncured dry salami, tomatoes, cucumber, provolone cheese, artichoke hearts, olives, peppered chili peppers, and a red wine vinegar dressing. So yeah, let's give this a go. It's not a huge thing of dressing, so I put most of it on there, but not quite all. I like to always err on the side of caution, especially with new salad mixes, because sometimes they just give you way too much dressing. So for those wondering, it has 410 calories, 35 grams of fat, 3 servings per container. Yeah, right. 3 servings per container, are you kidding me? So with a full container, it is 410 calories, 35 grams of fat. We have 10 grams of carbohydrates and 16 grams of protein. So a good bit of protein there. So I always put the lid back on, especially if there's a vinaigrette, and shake it. The vinaigrette totally distributes. Okay, so the salad was $6, which is a little spendy to me. I prefer to spend more in the $5 range for something like this, but it is fancy. It does have some fancier ingredients, so we'll call that good enough. So we are all mixed up and ready. That's a really good salami. Really good salami. I will often forget how delicious salami is. It's one of those things that I won't have it for a long time, and then I do, and it's like, oh yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. Delicious, $6 if you're near Trader Joe's, you need something quick to eat. Obviously there is dairy in it, but I think it should be free of most other allergens, so yum. I'll see you back for lunch tomorrow. All right, it is lunchtime again today. Today I'm gonna try the cauliflower gnocchi with the vegan kale cashew basil pesto. Very excited to give this a try. This is a tried and true in our house. I absolutely love it. In case you haven't had it before, it's actually pretty reasonably good for you. 330 calories for the bag, which is what I'll eat for my lunch. 53 grams of carbs, so not super low carb for a cauliflower product, but still pretty delicious. Plenty of fiber in there as well. A little bit of protein. So we're going to throw this in the air fryer at 400 degrees for about 10 minutes and see where we're at, and throw some of that on top, and that will be lunch today. All right, I think these are done. Pulling them out of the air fryer, nice and hot. We're just gonna plop those into a bowl. And I keep my hot air fryer thing just here on the stove to cool. That seems to work pretty well for me. So I'm just gonna do a little bit there, and I might actually dilute that a little bit with oil depending on how it goes. So I'm gonna put you down and I'll show you the finished product. All right, she's not pretty, but darn, she smells good. I am going to take a little sprinkle here of hemp hearts just to add some protein. If you're not familiar with hemp hearts, 3 tablespoons is very high in calories, 180 calories, but has 10 grams of protein. So that's a really easy way to boost the protein on a very veggie heavy dish like this one. So I'm just gonna take, they don't really do much to the flavor or to the texture. They're kind of just there, but all that protein is so welcome in a dish like this. Of course, if I were serving this to someone other than myself at lunch, I might do something to clean up this bowl, but it's just us here for lunch. Really good, still very hot. Very basil forward. I was thinking that maybe it would be more kale-y because it is kale pesto, but really it just tastes a lot like a basil pesto with some walnuts in it. Very, very good. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of salt, but that is lunch for today. Yum. It is lunchtime again, and today I'm going to have the vegan tikka masala, which I'm super excited about. This is a new item to me from Trader Joe's. We have 390 calories. Obviously, we're pretty high in carbs because we have rice. Pretty decent amount of protein for vegan food. That makes me happy. There are the ingredients if you care about all of that. So when I was making my coffee this morning, I took this out of the box and threw it into my Hot Logic here. And so now this has been hot and ready for me. I was actually stuck in a meeting and it is way past my lunchtime, but that's fine because this is hot and ready, and I will get to just peel this back and enjoy a nice hot lunch that the Hot Logic made for me. Hot Logic and Trader Joe's. So if you are not familiar with the Hot Logic, this is the mini. I also have a family size, which is like a 9x13 casserole dish size. So this is a hot plate down here, and I just have it plugged into the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug since we are done cooking. And you can just set your food. Normally I don't use plastic on it, I use glass, but since this was a frozen meal, I went ahead and used the plastic as it came in. And it does fine in here. This only gets up to about 165 degrees, which is perfect because it doesn't overcook or dry out your food. So you just throw it in here. I probably could have thrown it in an hour and a half before I was ready to eat, but I did it a little longer than that, and everything is fine. Like, it won't be overcooked. It'll be nice and delicious. So I'm gonna go sit down and enjoy my delicious tikka masala. So I did just taste this, and it is very good. I will say it doesn't feel like it's vegan. The texture is very meatball-y. It kind of looks and cuts like meat. I think that is the Vital Wheat gluten making that happen in our ingredient list. That is the first thing after water, so that makes sense. It definitely has a meaty texture, which I appreciate as a meat eater who is trying to eat less meat. So this is a win. I'll definitely buy this again. I'm not sure if it's as good as the meaty one, but probably willing to make that sacrifice just to, you know, cut down on my carbon footprint a little bit that way. Hello! Today for lunch we're going to have the cheese and green chili tamales from Trader Joe's. I can already tell you without having eaten this package that these are delicious. So I took my Hot Logic Mini, threw them in here several hours ago. I've got a really busy day today, and that means that I wanted to have lunch hot and ready for me. So I'm going to get these out and get them plated up. So here is lunch. I did take the tamales out of the husk, and I've made a very simple side salad with some kohlrabi and greens from the garden. I've had these diced pimentos hanging out in the fridge for a while, so I wanted to use some of those up. I'll use the rest with dinner tonight. I have dressed my salad with the Trader Joe's Green Goddess salad dressing. This is very good. I've gone through a pretty substantial amount in the week or so, that it's been since we filmed the Trader Joe's haul. And it's a very, very good dressing. It's very green tasting. It certainly doesn't taste like something that's bad for you, because it's not. It's actually pretty darn good as far as salad dressings go. Only 20 calories in 2 tablespoons, holy cannoli, for a salad dressing. So we're doing great there. A little note about side salads, especially if you're having a very simple salad like this, would highly recommend that you salt and pepper your greens as you're dressing them. So I put this in a separate bowl, used some Himalayan pink salt, and ground some fresh black pepper on there, and that will just awaken the salad greens and also the dressing in a way that wouldn't otherwise be perked up. So yeah, this is lunch today. I'm sure it will be delicious. Cannot wait to dig in, but I can already tell you this is a quick and easy Trader Joe's meal that I absolutely recommend. So today for lunch we are doing the Trader Joe's paneer, which I love. It is so good, and it is way past lunchtime and my mouth is watering. So super excited to dig in here. I did decide to go ahead and just eat the whole package. Like I said, I didn't have breakfast this morning. So it is 2 servings per container, making it 410 calories for the entire container, which really isn't bad at all. 20 grams of protein in the whole container, so that's pretty darn good for a vegetarian meal. And then I've just heated up some riced cauliflower with that, keeping it relatively low carb here. Threw the whole bag in the Hot Logic today. There are 3 servings per container, so that is a whopping 75 calories total. Along with that's going to be about 6 grams of protein. So pretty excited there. And this is just cauliflower, peas, onion, carrots, and green onion. So I did just throw both containers into the family size Hot Logic. This is the big one. So these Pyrex dishes fit 2 in there perfectly. And I did this way because we did go ahead and use the lid on the paneer to keep it warm. But if you've ever had cauli rice, you know it can get a little wet, like it'll just stay damp, and it's a really unpleasant to eat, or at least I find it unpleasant to eat if enough moisture doesn't come out of it, especially when it is the frozen, you know, it just kind of gets waterlogged, and that water can kind of, you know, make your food soupy. So I left this with the lid off. Now, obviously to warm, we closed the big lid, but I think it really worked. The cauliflower rice is nice and dry, which is what I was hoping to get. So yeah, I think this will be an awesome lunch. I'm just gonna plate this up and enjoy. So there is lunch, not much to look at, but I know it will be full of flavor and delicious. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope today's video gave you some inspiration. I know that especially in these trying times, getting out of our food box a little bit, especially into a healthier food box, really can make a huge difference in at least my overall mental health and feelings of well-being. So I hope that you found this inspirational and at the very least interesting to see what I was eating for lunch. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already, we'd love to have you subscribe and be part of our YouTube family. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.